Hello, welcome back to Hexen. There's some codes I want to show off. I guess I flunked that one up, didn't I? Let me just try this again. Unfortunately, the Shadowcaster cheat code doesn't appear to work, which is sad, because then I could show off all the other classes. How about I do that real fast, so we can all get a taste as to what kind of awesome weapons await us in the other versions. We have this. This weapon essentially has a lot of range, which is what makes it so useful. The second weapon you get is this, which shoots a couple of nice projectiles, but if you're up close, you actually suck the life out of your foes, which is neat. The other one is this, which is kind of neat. Pew. The final is probably the best weapon in the game, which is this long staff. It shoots ghosts! That's hacking spooky, man! I am a sorcerer. The mage has this. Oh wow, that is really slow. It takes forever to kill enemies with, but the benefit... Oh, you might also notice that our AC is actually super low comparatively. The benefit, however, is that the mage does get some of the finer weapons in the game. The ice spell shoots ice shards. Up close, it does a tremendous amount of damage. Enemies that are frozen will automatically disintegrate after a little bit, or until they are hit. The ice attack shotgun is kind of what you want. You don't want to get the early part. You want to get that later part to really get that optimum effect. You may notice that this makes the mage extremely good at ranged attacks. Next up is the lightning bolt. It does exactly what you want a lightning bolt to do. It zips, it zaps, it zoops, it zibs. And it haunts your foes relentlessly. The blood scourge is just really good at getting the job done. Got a job, need it done, use the blood scourge. You'll chew through ammo like crazy, but you get to use it, I guess. But that's not why we're here. We're here for the old fighter and whatever his next weapon may be. Our biggest advantage right now is that we can take it easy. Right now, the best thing would be... Good. That very much makes this a lot easier to traverse. Get out of here. Ooh, some green mana. That's what I needed. Just what I needed. Oh. A fiendish foe awaited me. Ah, I got lots of green mana now. I think I'm ready for a fight. The flechettes, in case you were wondering, I guess I could show that off too, while we're at this. I might as well show off what the flechette does for everyone. The code for weapons is NRA, but if we type Indiana, we're given all kinds of cool stuff, including a golden egg. I don't know what that did. The dragon bracers, which are that, whatever that did, but what I'm primarily interested in, boots of speed. Oh, fun thing about the boots of speed is if you're a mage, you actually move fast enough to hit yourself with your own ice shards. Isn't that great? Oh, I'm invisible. Okay, that's a nice. Torch, which is a light source. What I Oh, I see. What did I want again? Oh, the flechette. Which for the mage is a time bomb. That's such a sad noise. As you can see with the cleric, it's a gas bomb, which can actually hurt through certain enemies through their defenses, and because it hit stuns them, is tremendously potent if used in the right circumstances under the right means. For the mage, the flechette is a time bomb, as I mentioned. Why do I keep missing it? There it is. Neat, ain't it? But that's just about it for most of the differences between characters. For the most part, characters function very similar to one another. Let's read it. Watch my step! Oh, this part's nice and fun. We don't actually have to watch our step quite yet. What we do want to do is we want to pick up the flame mask, try to leave, and quickly find ourselves in a pickle. I love this. I love how the floor falls out so that you're like, oh no, what happened? What happened? This guy's repulsion causes a lot of infighting, doesn't it? And so, with the monsters dead, the game decides to clean up the place, turning monsters into small meshes of paste. And if I'm correct, we are now free to go. After it crushes one more time, just in case you were anxious to get going. This game knows how the player works. I gotta say, though, Ettins are kind of cute. They're kind of cute. Maybe if they brushed their teeth a little bit, they'd be cuter. Oh, he didn't even aggro. Do we have the key? No, we need a swamp key for this one. Ha! It's the Falcon Shield. So, if I'm correct, the way that Ettins spawn is they spawn at so-called death match locations, or something like that. They spawn at a rate of about 1 a minute, according to what the wiki says. I don't know 100% how true that is, but they do spawn at a pretty intense rate, as we can see, to the point that it might actually be beneficial to sometimes swap back to your basic weapon and try and get your jollies off that way. Don't forget, the 3-punch combo is an incredibly reliable way of getting rid of Ettins. Now, we need to go back to that place where we had a little platforming segment, because over there was the last door we saw that was yet to be opened. And it's also the last door we have to open in this particular fashion. There we go. All I have to do is navigate this treacherous terrain. We have received the cave key. Unfortunately, there's no caves here, but there are caves here. The cave key is marked as yellow on the map. Luckily, this teleporter doesn't just take us there. It just gives us access to the cave right away. We're going to need this mana, as well as these repulsors. Primarily because there's a lot of ledges, and the enemies can go suck, it's all I care. As you can see, someone had a lot of fun at work that day. Now, if we're particularly clever, rowdy bunch. Ah, we have the Quietus. Isn't that cool? Your character screams when you fall far enough. But yes, the Quietus is now within our possession. As is apparently falling off the ledge a bunch. Some people ask me, why am I okay with the fact that in Doom you sometimes have to do bullshit stuff? Well, this is why. The Quietus launches incredibly powerful attacks at our opponents. As you can see up close, the Quietus can easily take care of almost any enemy with ease. The problem, of course, like all the other Warriors' weapons, is that it just doesn't work at a distance. Like, seriously. That's one thing I'll give Heretic, or Hexen, I should say, that it really does extremely well. As you may have noticed in Hexen, is that there's a lot of things that are timed according to one another. We now obtain the Heart of the Sparrow. Now, the thing that I don't like about this is that, for the most part, whenever you pick up a puzzle item, you kind of want to get that puzzle item settled in wherever it's meant to be as soon as possible. The game, or this particular WOD, or whatever they call Hexen mods, is you really just want to do whatever it gives. You want to just go over wherever it's needed. Now, I happen to know where this item belongs, so that shouldn't be a major pain, but, you know. Unlike our good old-fashioned friend, the hammer, the Quietus does not, in fact, have a melee-only mode. It exclusively has an attack mode for ranged, which means the Quietus is not a melee weapon. I don't know if it still functions after it runs out of power. Kind of want to take care of these guys as soon as we can. As you may notice, while our foes are fierce, they suffer a distinct problem, which is that their shields do not function when they are casting the special spell they can cast with it. Okay, this is gonna suck. I don't know what that button did, but it was probably something that we needed to get done. Despite the fact that the hammer is a terrible melee weapon, it's incredibly satisfying to use and is a little bit more powerful. If you employ a lot of hidden run tactics, it's incredibly useful to have, because while its attack speed is slower than your fists, it definitely gets a job done. Whereas Timon's axe is generally just practical to use in most circumstances. You know, you never know when you have a little bit of extra green to throw around that you just want to be fancy about it. We must equip the Heart of Despair and slap it in. The other one does not accept the Heart of Despair. They both have a specific receptacle that they are designed for. As you can see, this door is opened as well. As we can see, the Forest of Time have had a massive shift in its environment. We'll be coming back in an area similar to this soon enough, but for now, we wish to return to the portal and go back to the Forest of Time. Specifically want to have this portal, because this is where the cool stuff's happening. As you can see, the lands are drastically altering. It's hardly how we remember it. I just felt like Gandalf there for a second. Now we can just rush our way through here without having to concern ourselves with these greater foes, allowing us a lot more resources on the way forward. Unfortunately, these enemies happen to use the Caco Demon AI, which means that they tend to fly up over whatever they're on, and they'll do so aggressively. Why can't I hit you? Little cheater. See, they are aggressive and relentless about wanting to climb whatever they're currently stuck up against, which makes them somewhat frustrating to deal with. There. We took care of a relatively busy encounter with minimal effort, allowing us to conserve both mana reserves, as well as just our sanity. What did that button do? Oh, it opened this whole area. I wish that enemies in Hexen were a little less happy on the trigger finger when it comes to casting their ranged abilities. In case you've been paying attention, you might notice that a lot of enemies have this nasty habit of casting a ranged attack right when we're up against their sleeve. Meaning that using Taman's axe may seem like a good value proposition, but you could be losing out on a lot of life just trying to land those blows while your enemy is using range attacks up close. It's a bit of a risk you're going to have to take. Aha, we're back here. The shooters have stopped, but more importantly, this. At this point, there's no shame in using the quietest, but if you're fast with the axe, you can take care of it just like that. We have another Heart of Despero. The Earth has shifted north of here, which could really be anywhere, all things considered. But don't worry, I know exactly where to bring us. Down here, where we picked up a whole bunch of repulsion discs, we can go. Or, this will vanish soon enough, but for now, let's focus on this passageway. See? The stalactites are gone. I don't know why it waits that long to actually make them go away, but I guess it's to make sure the player was actually paying attention instead of just cheesing their way out of there. As you can see, the sorcerers are actually made relatively frail in this version. Unlike in Heretic, where these enemies were quite formidable and usually difficult to hit, here they're relatively easy to deal with. There. That took care of the majority of the enemies. As you can see, we have a formidable amount of range on our melee attacks. Exploiting the range on your melee attacks is critical to getting yourself through an encounter without too much of a hassle. It might have been good if I made a quick save there ahead of time, instead of effectively hoping to God that it would go right. I need to get my pulsar and focus. Oh, they're called bishops. God, why did I not make a quick save? That's so dumb. Focus. Focus me, focus. And also equip your bloody repulsor discs. It's better if we take this the easy way out. Our enemy is far too preoccupied with the simple things in life. As you can see, though, they are as quick in the trigger finger as we are sometimes. Over here, we'll get the axe key. That's a lot of quartz flasks for us. We're actually back at the beginning. This is the structure we originated out of. Up here were a couple of these guys. It's kind of the reason I like to take care of them ahead of time, but I decided not to this time. There's a big hole in there. We kind of want to take this teleporter first. It will give us access to the rusted key. And a chaos device. In case you've forgotten, a chaos device sends you back to the portal you came from or the entrance you took. It's just a quick way of getting around, all things considered. As you can see, whereas Timon's ass does have some range, it has some issues hitting things that are above or below you.